So, Rick, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was nice to have Microsoft at the conference this year, and the topic of social networking. The title of your session was Enabling Business Through an Enterprise Social Network. Was pretty much a first for our conference. I mean, we haven't had a whole lot on this subject before, and it's for B2B strategic account professionals. So my question to you is, what's the relevance of this topic for these people, and what do you think that they should get out of it?
Well, social networking is very well known outside of the enterprise. I think that consumers are very familiar with that. But when applied to enterprise social networks, what it does is facilitate a much faster flow of information between strategic account managers, for example, or the SAMs with their teams. And in today's environment, information moves so fast that you have to start relying more on the expertise that your peers have, rather than on the often static information that perhaps the marketing teams provide you with. All very important information, but perhaps not as fast flowing as you need it to be in today's environment.
Right. And so if you think about a global account manager who's in a large corporation needing some other specialists with particular expertise in other parts of the world or so forth, what sort of resources does that, how would they go about finding someone on that network?
Sure. So some of the innovations that we're introducing in a enterprise social network is this concept of dynamic communities and personal profiling. So for example, I can find somebody today on many different attributes. They include business attributes such as perhaps what industry they're in or what product expertise they may have. But the other dimension are the personal attributes. So I can find somebody that speaks a certain language or has knowledge of a certain culture. And so these are some of the new dimensions that we're including in this enterprise social network that facilitates the connection of people around very specific scenarios, both personal and professional.
And it could save someone a lot of time getting the right combination of people and expertise together.
That is correct. And so in the traditional methods of using things like emails and websites to try to find the right people, this really changes the game. I no longer have to know or care where that person sits, what role they're in, what expertise they have. If I just ask for it, the system connects me with them automatically.
That's great. So I'm curious, how did your session go, and what sort of reaction did you get?
Well, I think that the reaction was one of, this is definitely new thinking. I explored some concepts that they had not seen before, and openly shared some of the challenges that we had in introducing this kind of methodology and technology and innovation to our field sales teams. But for the most part, we had some very good probing questions, and I learned a lot in the process as well, just by listening to the dialogue from the attendees in my session.
And I have a feeling the topic is here to stay. I mean, social networking and the impact that's going to have on business. What do you see for the future?
Well, I think it's going to permeate even more as we go along, especially with this phenomenon called the consumerization of IT, where we are seeing the proliferation of consumer technologies, especially the devices, move from the consumer space into the enterprise space. So no longer are people going to be able to ignore the proliferation of information on mobile devices, whether it's a slate form factor PC or a mobile phone. Those are going to be now the primary interface to information and collaboration. And so there's no turning back, so you're going to see more and more of that as we move forward.
Right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thanks for spending a little time with me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.